John, you always say that I tell you things that you're not aware of when you're on the golf course. So take a deep breath because it's a long list today. 61, that's a tournament course record. Yes. 61, that's a personal record. First time you've ever gone out in 29. But maybe most remarkable is your putting. 156 feet, 4 inches in this round. It's the first time you have ever had more than 100 feet in every round of a tournament. But at the end of the day, what's most remarkable is you have given yourself a real opportunity to successfully defend your title. Tell me about the round.
It was a great round. To be honest, the swings didn't feel that different today to the first 2 days, right? I think I mentioned in a couple of interviews that this first 2 rounds, a couple of the not so good swings cost me a little bit too much, right? Either I hit it on a hazard or put myself in a spot where making par was difficult, and that's why I was a little bit out of pace. Today, everything just seems perfect, right? Made a lot of great swings, and the ones that weren't great still gave myself a good result, right? A great example is the one on 8. It wasn't the most flush 5-iron I could hit. I thinned it a little bit, but it released out to 2 feet, right? That's not something that usually happens or you expect to happen, but it was one of those situations where not the best swing ended up in a great position, right? Added to that is the fact that I made 3 putts. I mean, was it 3 over 30 feet, which, right, one is already a great bonus, and to do it twice, 3 times was amazing. And I think that's the difference usually in a course like this, right? You can see a lot of 6, 7 under pars, but to get to 10, you're going to have to make a couple lengthy ones. And combined with really good ball striking, great round. Really happy with what I did, and just glad I gave myself a chance for tomorrow.
Well, maybe tomorrow I'll tell you about another first time you successfully defended a title.
Let's hope.
On the PGA Tour. Buena suerte, mi amigo.
Thank you.
John, can you just talk about the last 4 holes, particularly the putts on 15 and 16 that were makeable chances? And,
yeah.
And then obviously the long one on 17 and your mindset when you came to 18.
15 was a misread, which I don't say often, honestly. I've been really close all week. I've been a lot of times if it didn't go in, it was more speed than line. That one was a complete miscue. I read it a ball left, and that ball went left. So 16 is the only moment of the round I would say I wish I could take it back. But I think it wasn't my best stroke. It was the only one I could say was a bad stroke. But even if I hit my putt on the intended line, I don't think I would have made it. I saw Michael Kim's putt straighten out at the end. I just saw a replay of, I think it was Eric Cole hitting a putt from a similar line, and his ball at the end was dying pace, never broke right, so which leads me to believe that even if I hit the perfect putt, it wouldn't have gone in. But that's golf. I mean, you don't make them all, and I had 3 massive bonuses making the putts. I made them 1 on 3 and 17, right? Making that birdie on 17 today. I mean, I'm stealing at least half a stroke from the rest of the field. It's not an easy par 3. So very happy with that, honestly.
When you got to the last tee, what was your mindset knowing where you were standing?
Well, I mean, I saw Tony got to 18, so I have to assume he's at least going to get to 19. I wanted to make a birdie. Honestly, it was probably one of the best swings of the day. You obviously don't want to push it too far down the right side. And I made a great swing. Very rarely I hit a drive dead center and the wind takes it as much as it did, because that ball faded and then fell hard to the left. Very surprised. And then it's just unfortunate that it ended up right. Not that I need a shot to the green, but if I can give myself at least a wedge, I could have been a lot more aggressive. But it is what it is, you know. It was earlier on the round. I didn't hit my best 5-iron on 8 and ended up a foot and a half from the hole. So this is golf. It's what happens.
Just 1 or 2 more in English, and then we'll do a couple in Spanish.
Yeah, John, yesterday you mentioned how important it is to be very precise to some of these pin placements. The first 2 days you did a great job at that, but still left some shots out there. What was the difference today, getting the numbers so right with your caddy?
Honestly, I just struck it a little bit better today.
Okay.
A lot of those shots into the wind, yesterday, in the first 2 days, they weren't as solid as I would have liked. Mm-hmm. Today they were, and that was the difference, right? If I have a picture in mind and I don't get the contact I want on this wind, you know, you're going to pay the price. And I think my swings weren't as bad as the results were yesterday, but today they were really good. And there was a couple swings out there. I mean, shot on 9, second shot on 10, and the iron shot on 17. I will highlight those 3 because 10 and 17, those 2 4-irons were really, really good. And to give myself birdie chances in all of those was key. So hopefully I can keep that tomorrow. That's exactly what I did last year. I hit a lot of those penetrating ball flights pretty much perfect the entire week, and that's why I would say I ended up with a win. So hopefully I can keep doing it tomorrow.
And finally, just how much were you keeping an eye on the leaderboards as you were passing by? It seemed like every time Finau got one up on you, you came back and got one up on him.
I mean, I like to look, obviously. I think it's important to know where you are. But I knew I was behind, so I knew birdies were the only thing I had in mind, right? I tried to stay as aggressive as I could, and I did a really good job at that. So it just, you never want to look up and be like, oh man, I'm 4 behind or something like that, right? I just wanted to make sure I was keeping up with pace. And I was assuming Tony would get some birdies, obviously, on 12 to 15 stretch, right? I mean, you have to assume he's going to do that.
Thanks, Jon.
Thank you.
Jon, ayer decías que